Listening to Unnatural Selection, the show about newsy type stuff and things. My name is George.
My name is Tom.
And my name is Adam.
And with our powers combined, we are the sickly Unnatural Selection. Make sure you visit us at our salubrious home on the web, unnaturalshow.com. It's a podcast about the news that occasionally attempts humour when all else has failed.
Lumping us all in with your illness. Great. Thanks for
You
that.
can't tell that I'm in the best of health.
Yeah.
So BBC 1934 here.
BBC, we see the tanks, the Panzer tanks rolling over the Western Front. It seems our boys in blue are going to be a bad way.
That's actually amazing. No notes. Daycare. How fun's that?
The Kaiser rolls into...
Yes.
Yeah.
George's...
Enjoying
Old
the daycare
Jerry's
box.
back at it again.
All right. Can I just before we jump in with just our first sort of stuff here, I want to make just a little public service announcement. No, I didn't clear this with you guys before the show.
Oh,
but
boy.
I thought like if I said that I would, you'd talk me out of it.
We
But
said a tight
public-
60. Tight 60,
Yeah,
Tom.
tight 60. So
I gotta
yeah,
go to
really,
bed. I feel like shit. Let's go.
really quick public service announcement. I just got out of a screening of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
All right, rub it in.
Big movie.
Okay.
Everyone's really
As
hyped
Nolan
for it.
intended.
No, I did
Under
not.
his eye.
I did not see it as Nolan intended. But instead, I saw one of the 70mm non-IMAX prints. Was devastated.
Heathen.
Sydney IMAX here is sold out till like the end of August. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
fucking hell,
Thought
like
that
this
might be the
going.
case.
And I
It's
know.
almost like they intended that to
Well,
happen.
and there's
keep
only one IMAX cinema in Australia that can do the full, as Nolan intended, 70mm print film aspect ratio, whatever. And I know you guys have seen all the social media around like, oh my god, like this is the frame, and then a regular cinema does this bit. No, you poor people are seeing less, and like what a shit experience you're getting. I'm here to tell you that is all IMAX propaganda. The movie looked great. I've seen those comparisons. Like, you've all seen the Tom Holland one. There he is with the ring on his finger, holding his armor, looking all cool, and the horizon of the ocean, and he's on the ship, and it's like, IMAX thing. You see his whole head, and he's there looking all cool, and so much of the scenery, and they're like, and a regular screen cuts him off halfway in the forehead, and you've fucking seen nothing.
decapitated
No,
Tom
that
Holland.
shot looked nothing like that. I could see his hair. It was framed fine.
Turns out they can
clearly
pick.
didn't-
They can pick where they
Yes,
actually.
they
put
clearly
the...
didn't just put it in the middle and call it a day. They like the shots work. Like the tower in Troy coming down that everyone's been looking at, being like, you can see the top of the tower in IMAX and you can't in a regular pleb cinema.
Are you
No,
saying?
you can. It's
You see-
fine.
you see the
Go
full
see the
frame.
movie and enjoy it.
You see
I'm
the
sure
full
it's
frame
great.
in IMAX, and you can actually tell that Anne Hathaway was in fact pregnant during shooting. You can see it. You can
Yeah,
tell.
I'm sure it looks stunning in IMAX. I want to go watch it in IMAX now because, like, for the experience. But yeah, no, don't let
Are
the
you
internet
saying
bully
big
you into-
IMAX is
Yes.
into our social media
Yeah,
feeds?
do
Is
not-
corrupting the data.
Yeah, do not let the internet bully you into feeling like, oh, but I'm just getting a reduced experience. Well, actually, he filmed it in the actual aspect ratio. No, just watch it. It's great. Enjoy.
They
the
got you
movie.
twice, Tom. You've
That's
seen
how
it
bad
regular,
this
and now
is,
you're going to
yeah.
see it again.
Yeah,
in
so
IMAX.
that's
they want.
fine. That's
what
fine.
they
But
want,
yeah,
man.
I was just kind of
gotcha.
being like, well, I guess I'll settle for 70mm in a beautiful Art Deco theater, and like, I'm just, but it's not right. No, it is. It's fine. It looks
It's
great.
fine.
Yes, they made their multi-bajillion, hundreds of $1 million movie look good for most audiences. They didn't just go like, it only looks good in 40 cinemas.
I mean, I'm
Turns
mainly
out
just...
the film is terrible, by the way. But that's-
Wouldn't that be funny?
I really enjoyed it, but no, we're not a movie podcast. I'm not going to ramble about a movie you guys both haven't seen.
Maybe we should be. I don't know. I think it would make us happier. I'm just really concerned with the amount of money that Hollywood has spent trying to bring specifically Matt Damon home. I just think
They have spent a lot.
you just got to let him go at this point. You know,
Not even so many people have tried to stop him. You know, the Germans,
Yep.
space, the gods.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of those, I don't know, did the zoo in We Bought a Zoo try to stop him go home? I
I
haven't
don't know.
seen it.
The
Apparently
CIA.
it's-
I don't
apparently
know.
it's not
Was
bad.
it,
Jason Bourne. the
Jason
CIA
Bourne.
tries to stop him going
Jason
home. The potatoes in
Yep.
in The Martian.
Yep.
Speaking of odd segues, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is a strange little man, and he's been doing some strange things on his corner of the internet, and not least of which was his I'm going to say tribute to one Lindsey L. Graham
Yes,
this week
who died last weekend. We talked about it on last episode.
of a sudden and intense illness that had nothing to do with his Grindr account. And so obviously Ben Shapiro had things to say about this, and we haven't really been hearing from Ben Shapiro as he's faded into
No.
irrelevance. But this definitely got him some headlines this week as he tried to sandwich the news of Lindsey Graham's death
And the
between,
response to it.
and the response to it between that and segueing neatly into a sponsorship. So here's Ben Shapiro and his dumb voice.
I wish I were exaggerating here, but they all pretty much just said it out loud over the weekend. Well, all the worst people are very, very excited about Lindsey Graham's death. All the worst people. But listen, whenever you talk about mortality or the passage of time, it's a big reminder that you don't have time to waste. I mean, that's just a reality. We just had a baby. That means we are super duper busy. There's no time to waste. And that's also true when it comes to your business. We all have our own time-saving hacks for everyday life. If you're a business owner, how can you save time hiring? ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter has a new feature that quickly lets you see the most interesting qualified candidates first, so you save time by meeting the right people faster. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com.
It's got the promo code, the QR code, everything.
You can say a lot of things about Ben Shapiro, but he's a bloody pro.
Did not blink. Just like
seamless.
straight in.
When I first watched that clip, when George, you sent it to us, being like, we got to talk about this, I was like, oh, what's he said now? And I thought I'd missed it, because I just went through, and then suddenly he's talking about fucking ZipRecruiter or whatever. I'm like, whoa, hang on. How did he so smoothly just land that plane?
Huh?
Incredible work.
Surely they just get AI to do the transitions now. Like he's not writing that himself. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like see if we can work in what was it? What was the product? I don't know what the product was.
ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter into this speech about Lindsey Graham. The question is, does he go back to the topic to Lindsey Graham's death? Or does he just go to a new topic entirely?
That was the B block. Yeah, no, he's done with that. So
yeah.
The existential dread of knowing that our political leaders are steering this country directly off the cliff is palpable. We're all marching inevitably towards our own demise, and there is nothing the current administration can do to stop it. Speaking of your inevitable demise, have you sorted out your life insurance yet? Policy Genius makes it incredibly simple. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
It's incredible. It is such a, like, God, they're just churning out metaphors that are too fucking easy, right? Like, just, everything's an ad. Capitalism doesn't care if you live or die, even if you're one of, like, the massive, like, champions of this right-wing capitalist hellscape, Lindsey Graham. Nope, even you, man. Even you, Lindsey, you're just turned into a big billboard.
Jim Carrey and the Truman Show and Peter Weir are just sitting there like screaming.
Yeah, it's just Laura Dern trying to convince you to buy a coffee maker, and you're just like, what is that? What? Who are you talking to? What?
Oh, God, those bits in that movie were good. I need to watch that movie again.
That was good. It was Laura Dern, right?
I think so.
No, isn't it Laura Linney?
Laura Linney. You're
Laura
right,
Linney.
not Laura Dern.
Which
Got
one's
my
Laura
Lauras
Dern?
mixed up.
Anyway,
Laura Dern's from Jurassic Park.
You're right.
Yes. Can you put a product
So the
placement
Odyssey.
segue in there?
No, okay, let's not keep going.
Speaking of authoritarian leaners, Donald Trump has said he's released a massive cache of documents, the most incredible cache. A lot of people don't know it's spelled C-A-C-H. How do you spell cache?
C-A-C-H-E.
They replaced the B in Democrats. A lot of people don't know there's a B in Dem. Donald Trump says these documents prove that his false claims of election fraud, but they do not, in fact, do that.
No.
So, President Donald Trump released a trove of documents during a primetime address to the nation, which we will unfortunately be forced to play a few minutes of, that allies had hyped as a smoking gun that would prove his long debunked allegations of mass voter fraud. Speaking from the White House on Thursday night, he described shocking revelations like Chinese meddling to undermine his failed candidacy in 2020 and a cover-up by the deep state. He claimed Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure. But a review by the Associated Press found no such confirmation in the a collection of newly declassified reports. Many pages are so heavily redacted that their findings are unclear, and outline vulnerabilities and assessments that have been well documented for years. There's no evidence that China or any other foreign entity manipulated the vote in 2020 or any other year.
Didn't it mention that it did? I thought some of the documents detail Russia trying to
influence the 2016 election, which was like backed up by his own experts, but like,
and also 2020,
and also
in 2020 to help him
for his
so
benefit.
It's funny that he's coming in being like, this is proof of all the election fraud to try and get me kicked out. It's like, no, all the election interfering that you have just released documents for paint the picture that they tried to help you with.
Well, yeah, it's there's certainly, like, we've known this for years. There's certainly a campaign from Russia to benefit Trump during those election cycles, but like what he's alleging, like switched votes and things like that, there's no evidence of any of that. And it's funny because like the content of his speech just clearly has no bearing on these documents that they've released. If anything, often it says like the opposite of what he's trying to say.
Same thing they tried to do with the Epstein files. It's a bait and switch where you just say that, we'll release the files and it's going to have all the evidence in there, and then there's literally nothing in there.
No, we didn't think you'd actually read the files. I didn't realize anyone else could read. I thought I was the only one who couldn't read.
This is... So, I mean, he's been saying this shit for years, right? Why is this important? It was a televised national address. There is the November midterms coming up. This is laying the groundwork for some sort of...
some sort of our election integrity can't be trusted, and that's why we need to seize the machines! And we're going to seize the machines with our gigantic hands.
And also straight up name-checking China, which they haven't kind of, I thought, really done before in this election fraud narrative that they're spinning, right? It was always like the voting machines, the voting machines can't be used properly. The Democrats are fucking stealing the voting boxes or whatever. He's never, unless I'm forgetting something, he's never like straight up said China's trying to fuck us now. He hasn't like pivoted. So that's why this is significant. Like China's hey, I don't know if you know, guys, China's kind of a big deal.
Really bad guys. Bad hombres.
I mean, saying that China's got all the data, but I mean, like, China's got the data. They don't want to overthrow the election. China just wants to sell you stuff. That's literally, it's just marketing information at this point.
And so we've got another message coming in from Ben Shapiro. We are seeing a terrifying rise in authoritarianism, and the mainstream media is absolutely determined to silence conservative voices. They want to completely shut down your ability to hear the truth. But you know what sounds brilliant? The crisp, clear audio of Raycon wireless earbuds.
Totally natural.
Seamless.
Seamless.
On brand.
Anyway, so I'm sorry to say, unfortunately, I have to bring you some brief audio of Donald Trump saying words again on this podcast. I don't like to do it, but here it is. So he spends the first 5 minutes of this 25-minute speech going, everything's great. The economy, the best economy, best inflation. Joe Biden was a cuck. Like, he just spends the first 5 minutes sort of just saying how good everything is, and then doing his own little awkward segue into, by the way, the nation's voting system is corrupt. So we'll just skip straight to that part.
America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible.
Speaking of cheating, my gorgeous wife Melania has no idea.
Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes and really exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people.
I don't know why, but whenever he's reading a teleprompter statement, he always sounds like he's reading it very much for the first time live. You
course
are
he is.
beautiful
yeah,
American people
course he is.
who we love. The American people are great. Great American people. Yeah, no, I got this. Like
Yeah,
he's
he
just like
definitely-
he's like
he doesn't rehearse,
deciphering the
right?
words
He
all
doesn't
for the first
rehearse.
time.
He
Yeah,
just
yeah.
balls it.
Yeah, I think surprising no one, Donald Trump does not rehearse his speech.
Absolutely.
That all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force.
That's what I mean. The White House government transparency task force.
He's clearly waiting for the next bit
yeah.
to just come up. Yeah.
Great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compound.
Can you believe that the other major superpower tried to do spying and did it successfully? I'm shocked to find gambling in this casino.
Hearing Donald Trump say, and this tells us 5 things. First, oh god, like,
God, it's gonna go through all
knowing
5.
there's 4 more things.
That's all right.
One
That's
third
enough.
of the way through this
That
shit show,
takes
yeah.
him forever to say.
That's the guy who's running the teleprompter should stop checking his bets on Kalshi and really should just focus on
Did you see that?
making the thing run a little bit faster.
Did you see there was the teleprompter guy who's doing that?
I
Like,
know.
he
That's
is
why I
betting
made
there.
the joke, Tom.
Yeah.
It's because it's a news and politics show and I read the fucking article.
Okay. See, I just thought you would be like, everyone checks bets on Kalshi. But the
No,
fact that the
his-
guy bets on what Trump says in his speeches and he's the teleprompter man is amazing.
And he cancels his bets when he sees that that Trump
That he's
is
gone.
veering off the script.
Yeah, he's gone off script.
Which is incredible. It's just live going, oh, fuck, cancel the 4-way multi. He's not going there. Fuck, cancel it.
Honestly, that's
Incredible.
Like
He made
Kalshi.
$100,000, which feels like
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah. But that is showing Kalshi and like Polymark and whatever working as intended. Like
Yeah.
that's just how it works.
Insider
Incredible.
information as intended. But we've got another quick update from our friend Ben Shapiro. The radical left is getting Trumpy. The radical left is actively trying to dismantle the nuclear family. Our cities are in a state of total collapse, and we are quite literally standing on the precipice of World War III. Everything you hold dear could be turned into ash by tomorrow morning. Speaking of your life savings turning into ash, you need to protect your retirement with precious metals from Birch Gold Group. Just a natural transition there into some advertisements.
Absolutely seamless. Yeah, just to be crystal clear as well on the data. Yes, they did steal some data, but like there's no evidence that they've done anything with it necessarily, and a lot of that information is kind of publicly available to some extent. Well, not publicly available, but available from certain parties within the US if they need it anyway. So it's not necessarily like highly classified, information.
No, voter data is kind of like, you are just today learning that that there's files like on American citizens that both of the major parties have and all these political consultants have about people's voter preferences, and they're like, is this just now? Okay, are you today years old when you found that out, Donald Trump? And that foreign state actors might be interested in this information to do, sort of mis and disinformation campaigns. Like, is this really just occurring to you?
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Strait is still, as of 8:55 p.m. Eastern Australian time on the 19th of July 2026. The Strait is now closed.
Closed.
It's closed currently.
And it was
So it happens
closed.
next
It
week.
was closed last episode as well. So did it
Well-
open between during the week?
Technically, they're not, like, they haven't gone back to full hostilities. It's just like, we're going to hit you, you're going to hit us, and it's just like a bit of back and forth. And
Right.
But the Strait is closed at this current point in time. Just wanted to mention that.
Given the global geopolitical instability, you may be wondering how to get a good night's sleep. You know what isn't a nightmare? The unbelievably comfortable mattress over at Helix Sleep.
How many of these did you write?
Several.
Now this, you'd go, you'd think, well, that was a pretty crazy thing that happened this week with Donald Trump saying that stuff and basically setting the groundwork, laying the information sort of base for potential election fraud. But there were a couple other things that came out of the US government this week, which were kind of batshit crazy. One of them was Marco Rubio launching a campaign to dismantle the International Criminal Court, which, as you do, definitely not an Israeli, influence operation.
Request.
Yeah.
It's the good guys.
Hey guys, these ICC have really given me a real pain in the ball sack. Okay, could you guys maybe dismantle the entire criminal system of justice, because it's did I mention it's Bibi? It's obviously Bibi. Could you guys dismantle the entire Western democratic rules-based order? It's being a real pain in the ass, and I need that space in my back pocket for more cigars.
The good guys are never the ones trying to dismantle the international criminal.
Yeah, historically,
it doesn't.
In the movie, the good guys don't dismantle the ICC as a rule.
So Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, launched a campaign to dismantle the International Criminal Court, otherwise known as the ICC, on Monday, claiming the global tribunal was interfering with US military and law enforcement operations at the risk of American sovereignty.
You're telling on yourself, if the ICC is becoming a pain in the ass for your country, that's because your country is doing war crimes. Malaka.
Or your friends are.
I can't believe all these murder police are up here in my house bothering me all the time. It's because of all the bodies under the floorboards. What are you talking about?
So Rubio invoked images of US Border Patrol agents and elected leaders being dragged before an international court and tried by judges from around the world in a lengthy op-ed published by the Wall Street Journal on Monday. Thank you, Wall Street Journal, for your unwavering.
Yeah,
great job, boys. You did it.
What is that? Is that lunch? I think we posted that. It's ready to be published. But Bob, it's 10:30. I think that's lunch. I think we're done for the day. Boozy lunch after that.
We'll throw in one more quote here. If we stand idle, this is a quote, if we stand idle, all of them will be at the mercy of foreign judges thousands of miles away, facing the constant risk of prosecution and even imprisonment for the so-called crime of defending their own country, Rubio warned in a companion video on X. Now,
that's not...
Couple
That's
of things.
Not how the ICC works, sadly.
It turns out the ICC was established in 2002. It's called the Rome Statute, I believe. You have to be party to it. You have to sign the agreement. You have to,
which the US loves to not do. They love to not ever commit to any of these treaties because they don't want to give up any of their sovereignty, right? And they know that because they do so many crimes all over the world that if they did commit to any of these international bodies in the way that other nation states are expected to do, they might be on the business end of them. And so that's why they do not commit to them. Things like the Kyoto Protocol, things like, the ICC, things like, there's a lot of these international treaties which are validated by basically every country except for the United States because of, the crimes.
So the way it works is, if you were a party to this treaty, if you've signed it, the International Criminal Court can investigate war crimes specifically, and other crimes against humanity on your territory. So there's this assertion or this assertion that somehow American Border Patrol agents working within the United States are going to get hauled off to Europe.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And get thrown before a Belgian, judge is a load of crap.
Hi, how are we all doing today? Yeah. So what do we have? Some ICE agents. Jail, straight to jail. That's not how it works.
Why
would you like a chocolate? Now it's Belgian jail, so it's pretty good. But would you like some chocolate?
The reason why they're doing this is because the Palestine asked the International Criminal Court to come and check out what's going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
And therefore, this is where the charges for Netanyahu and half the Israeli cabinet have come from.
Yeah.
Because they are operating on a, basically someone who is a country that is not necessarily signed, I think, but are they a signatory or are they just
I don't
asked?
know, but they're part of the agreement.
Sure.
And so even if you are a party that is not a party, I'm using the word party too much. Even if you are a country that is not a party to the agreement, if you do something in someone else's country who is a party to the agreement, then you can be investigated for war crimes or whatever, right? Because otherwise, Uganda would just say, no thanks. And then they just, be able to continue doing their war crimes in their country and others, right?
It's all about jurisdiction of where the crimes took place, right? Like,
Correct.
not the home origin of the perpetrator, but where they conducted the crimes. And the ICC are the ones who issued arrest warrants for Netanyahu and stuff, right? That have been a subject of contention for a while now of questions to, I believe we are a signatory of the, we Australia, I mean, of the ICC, because people have been asking Albo, being like, if Netanyahu comes to visit Australia, are we not obligated to arrest him because we are a signatory of a court that has issued an arrest warrant?
So
it's probably why they sent the Israeli president earlier in the year rather than
Netanyahu. Yeah, so technically, yes, I think, but obviously there's other local laws and things like that to consider. So in a interview with the New York Times this week, Zoran Mamdani, the New York City mayor, was directly asked this question: would you arrest Netanyahu if he came to New York City, as he's planning to do in September? And he basically gave an answer which was something to the effect of like, we're talking with lawyers to see what we can do, but like basically I want to. Yeah,
it's like, if I can, I will.
If I can, I will, basically was the answer. Yeah.
Man, he's been dropping bangers. Anyway.
So this is just, it sounds like it's an influence operation from the Israelis trying to request a favor to, So, well, by the way, this is the other thing that's important. So the way Rubio, that he hasn't just made a speech, what they're saying is they're going to threaten sanctions, basically, for any country. They're going to try and strong-arm countries to basically pull out of the agreement.
I was going to say, how do you dismantle an organization you are not a signatory to? Well, you're going to strong-arm everyone else to turn on them, right?
Yeah. So,
fun.
And if eventually,
how do you eat an elephant, Tom? One bite at a time.
Oh, eat an... I thought you said weed. How do you weed an elephant? And I was like, is this like... why is a raven like a riding desk? Like, what? George, I'd like the Sudafed kicking in.
I'm sick. I'm so sick.
One other thing that happened this week, which wasn't in the rundown, I do want to mention, was Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War.
Secretary of War... Secretary of War Crimes, Pete Kegsbreath, yes.
Yeah. Announced an initiative within the US military for basically testosterone therapy for men.
Yeah, that's right.
So globally,
perfect.
To be very clear, like testosterone is known to be dropping in men globally, sort of on the average. But
It's,
the
it's
US
the
military,
hormones that make you the frogs gay. Hey, it's me, Alex Jones. I just jumped in the chat. I saw the documents.
What? But this is coming from an organization which is one that's got this weird sort of, ideological bend on gender. And this sort of war on sort of the, everything's going to be very black and white. You can't have any sort of anything in the middle. It's going to be boy or girl, nothing else, and go to your gender roles. But like, this is also an administration which has basically said we're not going to offer. We want to rally up against gender affirming care. But what they're basically doing
Yeah.
is offering gender affirming care to
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
Which is
I am all against gender affirming care. Now, here's my line of testosterone supplements.
Yeah. It's also just
Use the
like,
code Alex Jones 2020 1776
methinks,
to get your gender affirming care at TrumpRx.com.
methinks the lady Pete does protest too much because like he seems really obsessed with we need our fighting men, we need the men and testosterone
Energy.
and just with muscles and chest hair and just rippling abs and just like rock hard men out there shirtless fighting our wars and just all sweaty and
I don't know, General. Maybe we should bomb the civilians. Maybe we should. But can you drop it? Give me 20.
yeah, like I think
It really-
he took the wrong thing from Top Gun. I haven't seen all of Top Gun,
really
but the
did.
volleyball bit from Top Gun, I think he enjoys.
That's all you need to know.
the
Yeah,
boys.
That's all you need to know. Just that scene in both movies.
Like it feels like that's on a loop in his head at all times.
Yeah,
he
it's
is
just
obsessed with
doing it for
with
the boys, just on a loop.
the manly warrior.
manliness of the Defense Force. It comes up pretty
It's because he's
much
cosplaying
in
as a
all
warrior.
of his
Yeah.
speeches.
Because
Yeah.
he's not really anything. He's just a drunk, alleged rapist running running the Department of War Crimes. Like, it's not complicated. It's like, he is just, as you said, Tom, methinks the lady doth protest too much. That whole line from Shakespeare is like, you are trying way too hard to cover up this thing about you, which you're clearly insecure about, right? Like, that's Pete Hegseth's entire career is acting manly as fuck, what he thinks is manly as fuck, because deeply, inside deep down, he's an insecure little boy who is deeply intimidated by other people's masculinity because he has no sense of self. Because his father left when he was a very young boy, and actually, the more I say it, it's the more I talk about this, it's just getting sad. It's just getting very sad.
Can you do a
Except for
segue?
The people
into
that
a-
he's murdered, yeah. So
I'm feeling sad.
children are being indoctrinated. The traditional values that built this nation are being systemically erased from the history books, and quite frankly, your privacy is being invaded by big tech on a daily basis. They are watching your every move, so why make it easy for them? Secure your digital footprint with ExpressVPN.
Oh, so I was going to say, if you're feeling sad because you have a Knights Templar sigil tattooed on your chest and drink too much and are really insecure about your masculinity, talk to us here at BetterHelp.
Yeah.
BetterHelp are mental
BetterHelp offers therapists from around the globe in your time zone. Yes, even at US CENTCOM time.
Yep. Even to secretaries of war.
Yeah.
to be clear, it's
Specifically, just the ad is specifically for Pete. It's just like, Pete, are you okay? Pete Hegseth specifically, are you okay? Are you hearing us?
Because it is one of those things where it's like, it's probably not a bad initiative, like in the sense that like it's an opt-in thing. If your doctor recommends it, you get the option of picking it, and it's a paid healthcare thing, right? If you're a member of the Defence Force. But what's weird is that would just normally be like a page 5 of like some memo that they would send out.
Meanwhile,
The fact
trans
that-
people are kicked out of the military.
Yeah.
currently.
Meanwhile,
So it's like, they were like, I'd love some testosterone therapy. Can I also have some? They're like, not you. You don't have the right bits.
yeah.
Different bits, and then you could get this exact same treatment. I'm
Yeah, I was gonna
confused
say,
about
can
what I'm
we-
angry about.
Can we reframe it for them to be like,
I'd-
oh, well, but these trans men, yeah, they'd love some.
We want
they'd
them
love some
extra
more
manly.
testosterone.
Yeah,
Like,
I wonder
yeah,
if
get them
they
super
great.
manly.
Like,
I wonder if they thought that far ahead. Probably not.
No, definitely
But what
not.
what I was going to say is, the weird thing is that he took to social media to announce this personally, which is very weird.
He needs us to know. He wants his men. He wants the manly, hairy, Gaston-like.
Yeah. Now watch this drive.
So, Pete Hegseth can't get like he just loves being in front of the camera. The new DNI, or the nominee for the new DNI position, maybe not so much.
The Director of National Intelligence. Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to look it up. George casually dropped DNI before the show, and I was a bit like, it sounds like I'm supposed to know what that means.
So this was Tulsi Gabbard's old role. Old
Yeah.
rogue went rogue and is now no longer in the role. So the inimitable
'cause of the
Jay
hair thing.
Clayton.
The hair thing.
'Cause she looks like Rogue.
joke.
Yeah,
Shit's
from
on
The hair
X-Men.
thing. That's
Yeah, it's-
see what you
Marvel
did there.
trademark.
That was great.
yeah. No, we can't show that. So immediately going to take down request. You know we got a strike on TikTok. Anyway,
For what?
Hang on, we got taken off TikTok.
because we said that Donald Trump was like the main proponent of political violence. I'm appealing it. It's fine. You violated our community standards. Which community standards? Telling the truth? What
Yeah,
the
I
fuck?
was gonna say, Jesus
China-
Christ, shit is the shit on TikTok.
Yeah, I
is
know,
way
right?
worse.
We got a guy on there predicting when Donald Trump's gonna die, but I'm the bad guy. Okay, TikTok, whatever. Anyway, so this is a clip of Jay Clayton refusing to answer some basic questions about political history from Senator for, I believe it's Georgia, John Ossoff. And it's
Definitely isn't running for president. Anyway, keep going.
oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, no, he is. 100% he is. Yeah. John, I absolutely want to clip this for my social media. Ossoff.
Yeah.
Won the 2020 election.
I'm not going to do this with you.
This is a job interview. We've established that you have an obligation
a
to
pretty
be
interesting
honest
job.
and forthright with the committee. Yes, you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Yes.
Who won the 2020 election?
Like I said, I'm not going to get into that with you.
But you do have an obligation to be honest and forthright with the committee.
Is anything that I just said not honest or forthright?
Yes, you're not being honest or forthright. Who won the
I think I've
2020
answered the
election?
question. We can keep doing this.
Well, we're going to keep doing it because you're not being honest and
No,
forthright
I'm
with
not
the
going to
committee.
engage in the theater.
It's a simple question, Mr. Clayton.
And I've answered.
Who won the 2020
I've-
presidential election?
I'm not going to engage in the theater, he said, thus making this political theater.
I've answered.
Just answer it.
You're here asking for the support of senators to lead America's intelligence community. We've established that you have an obligation to be honest and forthright with this committee and with the American public, but you refuse to answer a simple matter of fact about the 2020 election. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Then answer the question. Who won the
I have
2020 election?
I have answered the question.
Answer it. What is your answer?
I've given you my answer.
What is your answer? You refuse to answer a basic question about who won a presidential election,
No,
but you ask to lead America's intelligence community? Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question, to have to indulge the president's delusions? We know, you know, everybody in this room knows the truthful answer to that question. Why can you not give it?
I think I gave you the answer.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, dropping isn't it humiliating?
That was
Aren't you?
Can't answer.
Do you
this.
enjoy
That's
the cuck chair that you sit in?
Yeah, it's just like wow. Like yeah, and I mean, yeah, I know nothing about this senator outside of this clip, but it's very refreshing to see that kind of just constant push on them to be like, yeah, you haven't answered this question. I'm going to make you look like the fool patsy that you are. Yeah, very refreshing.
I mean, David Spears is sitting there just going, I wish I could do that. Wish I could just push that. Like, he's just in awe of that.
What they do is they tend to move on because they're only allowed like so much time.
Yeah,
It
And
says,
they
it's
"No,
have
I've
other
got-
them.
things they want to ask them.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll just move on. No, don't fucking move on. Press the guy until he talks, right? Like, do not move on to the next thing. You're not trying to hit him on like 5 different things. All you need is one moment like this where you just go, okay, well, let's just sit in the discomfort of you being unable to answer this basic question of fact. And let's sit in it for 30 seconds, 40 seconds out of my 5 minutes. Because that's all I need. This is going to go viral as hell, baby. Okay? C-SPAN, who's posting this clip, is going to go viral. C-SPAN. Okay?
Yeah, C-SPAN's social media guide will not know what hit him.
This is like July. So this is from July 15, so middle of the week as well. That's fairly recent. I mean,
So
I don't
there's
know,
this
the
one,
timing-
and there was
the
another one
timing
as
of
well
the-
for Todd Blanche, who's trying to
Yeah.
be the new Attorney General, where same sort of thing. There's just like unable to just make
Answer the
basic
question.
statements of fact around what happened in the 2020 election. And then he accidentally called himself Trump's lawyer. He goes, I'm Trump's lawyer. I mean, former lawyer, now the Attorney General. Fuck! Come on, Todd! It was the one thing!
the timing of this is, given what we just discussed with the
the China
speech.
accusation and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that there is in the same week is this happening as Trump getting up and making a nationalized a televised national address that his new candidates for these major cabinet positions are not willing to answer that question gives you like all you need to know. In that again, they're laying the fucking groundwork to fucking throw over the midterms.
Yeah.
And these guys will get in because this whole Senate. I don't think anyone's failed a Senate
Well, yeah.
thing
those-
recently, have they?
They don't.
Oh, apart from what was
they
his
have the
name?
majority, don't they?
Matt.
Matt Gaetz was withdrawn. He didn't fail because they knew he wasn't
yeah.
going to get passed. So
Yeah, but I mean that's probably the closest we've come, right? Is to someone. failing
Susan
this
Collins,
process.
you could have a bag of trash up there, and Susan Collins would be like, I don't know, let's hear him out. Human bag of trash.
Meanwhile, in Australia, Telstra has been playing humble pie or eating humble pie, perhaps, for the last week, given their outage last week, which affected a lot of people for several hours. Basically, the network went down, for those who don't know.
For about 12 and a half hours,
Yeah.
took down phones, trains, payment services, big deal.
calls.
Just
yeah.
imagining the head of IT at Optus that day just being like, how the turntables have
Yeah.
turned. Hey guys, it's not us. Hey guys, it's Telstra this time. It's not us. Ah, can you believe it?
Yeah, Gladys is doing a little dance on top of her table at this one. So basically there was a Senate hearing this week looking into it. So Chief Executive Brady was pulled in front of the Australian Senate and was forced to answer questions. But they admitted fault, obviously explained as much as they knew in terms of what happened. Apparently there was a 15-year-old server that they were doing some maintenance on. They turned it off and did a restart, and that broke all of the clocks on the machine.
Yep. Reset the network time.
Is
To
it
2000 and what was it? 2006.
Yeah, 20
Which
years
makes me
back.
wonder, what operating system is that thing fucking
Yeah,
running?
that's going to be, I'm sure that's getting fucking Glasswing updates. Definitely, for
crazy.
sure.
Because that's weirdly specific. Like in my
Is
experience,
that Windows XP?
like-
is that running Windows XP?
I mean,
Is
maybe.
that, is
but
that still
the
fucking
thing
running
that,
on Cobalt? What is the server?
Well, that's the thing that I find
That's-
weirdly
yeah.
specific about that is resetting back to that time. I don't know if their infrastructure would
Defaults back to the time it was originally turned on or whatever. But, the kind of default time a lot of shit resets to in software programming is either the first of the first in the first year ever at
Yeah.
0001 blah blah blah, or January 1st 1970. That's just a
Yeah.
specific
Something to do with
year that-
IBM, maybe?
It's
Something
like
like
just
it's a
the
computer
default,
thing. Yeah, no, I've seen
computer
that.
thing way back. So I'm surprised
Because
it
it's
didn't
like
just go back to that.
pre-computers,
Yeah,
right? Like we
when
know that
you,
1970, it's not going to be
and-
earlier than that, right?
And when you're measuring universal time or things like that, sometimes time can be represented in software by the amount of seconds that have gone by since January 1st, 1970. It's a really weird way to represent it. You just see this really big fucking long number and you're like, I don't know, man. I gotta convert this. That's not readable by anybody. Weird that it goes back to 2006. That's so oddly specific.
I'm assuming that was just the start of when the operating
That's when the
system
server
was
went in, I
licensed.
think.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that
yeah.
it's just like some prick putting a paperclip in the back of a server, just took down
it's
the
a
national
modem.
fucking grid. Yeah. Sanjay, what just happened there, buddy?
And I thought
Can I get a 10-4 on your what the fuck happened there?
Yeah, that a bit of
Whole
the
system's down?
Yeah, that a bit of the reveal of this Senate hearing about the fact that, it was because they reset this old server, was that they'd been approached about upgrading their hardware previously and had opted not to, because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And no, we don't want to spend the money to upgrade this 15-year-old server, even though we were told we probably should.
Yeah, meanwhile,
And
the
then,
server's
yeah.
in the back going,
Yeah.
I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired, boss.
Tired, boss.
Let me die. Every moment I live is agony. And then some
mean-
ICT managers going, she'll be right. 30 grand? Nah, it's not in budget. Don't worry about it.
I
What's
mean-
the worst that could happen?
Depending when they were approached to upgrade the server, if it was post and during the current RAM apocalypse, starting with thanks to AI data centers, they probably would regret not updating it 5 years ago.
Apparently, they could have replaced it for $30,000.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
which considering the
elected
tens of millions that this is going to cost them in fines and penalties and lost business, I think is probably, in retrospect, seems like a bit of a bargain.
So there was 45% of calls and data were affected during the outage peak. They have made a bunch of welfare calls to check on a 000 impact, and
you
they
dead?
have
Please say
also
no.
offered.
Pick up, please pick up. Please pick up. You dead? Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm
shit.
so dead. I'm so fucked.
I don't think, as far as I'm aware, there's been any reports of people being
Anyone dying as a result.
of this.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Well, I guess we'll find out in a month or two when someone starts to detect the smell.
Smell, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, fuck. Grandma did actually
Oops.
die. Whoops.
But they've offered compensation to people, which I find interesting, but they're not saying, they're not sort of guaranteeing how much you'll get or whether you will get something. It's like,
And how you'd be affected as
And
well.
you need to apply
because,
for it.
Because,
Yeah.
there'd be customers, right? Obviously Telstra customers who have plans with them or whatever. But, one of my
Oh,
colleagues, I remember
does that mean
day,
I get $2 off for the day? I pay $60 a month and I
well,
get 1 day off, so I get $2 back?
One of my colleagues on the day that this all went down, I didn't put it together until I was like, oh, wait, this is affecting more than just phones. She was late into work because the train had stopped. So does people on trains affected by this get compensation? I don't know if she's a Telstra customer, but it's how do you judge whether
How far
you
does
were
the rabbit hole
impacted
go?
by this?
Yeah.
Do you have to have died, or is it just 2 months off your plan? I don't know. Yeah, I don't envy anyone involved in this.
So they could be fined up to millions, $30 million or something as part of this, which feels like not that much really in the scheme of things. But it's and Vicky Brady did say, who's the Telstra chief executive, she's like, I can't guarantee this won't happen again.
I really like my job, but
you can't
I
guarantee this
probably
won't
gonna have to
happen
resign.
again. The
Yeah.
amount of things that can go wrong in IT and software and stuff like that. If you say, it's the whole thing. We are unhackable.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get hacked.
Someone's
Someone's
hacked.
gonna find a way.
There's nothing that could sink this Titanic.
Yeah.
Small target. Being a small target is definitely a strategy.
I get that being
also
Australia's largest telco means that there's a number of incredibly complex systems, that are interrelated and, that they're relying on old infrastructure and all this sort of stuff. I get it. I do understand that this would be an incredibly thorny problem to solve. And you can't say it's never going to happen again because it probably will happen again. But surely the 000 stuff, we should have fixed that by now in terms of being able to have other redundant.
Whoa.
This is why you
That's
have
what I meant
risk
with the
mitigation
Optus
plans and
situation.
redundancies
Yeah.
and it's so at the very least, if and when this does happen again, that people can still call through to 000 and get a dispatch
Yeah.
to get surely that aspect of this, there should be fail safes and fallbacks and.
Yeah, that's where I think I mentioned this last episode. The Optus people should be sipping on a big old cup of Schadenfreude out because being when they mentioned in their Senate committee. But yeah, the 000 system is meant to, if one of us goes down, be able to still divert the calls
Have
out to
fail-safes.
even uninterrupted. So if the 000 calls still didn't work, we might be needing to look at a bigger problem, and that was shut down to be shut up, you're just shirking responsibility. Not to go to bat for the $1 billion corporation. But yeah, but now here we are, Telstra went down, and it didn't
didn't piggyback off all the
Yeah,
others
you
to
need
work
to have
again.
backups
There's
and
clearly
backups.
something wrong.
Backups on backups on backups.
Yeah.
We've got another message here from Ben Shapiro. The communications infrastructure of this country is a complete and utter disaster. Telstra goes down, millions of Australians are suddenly plunged into a digital dark age, and the government actually thinks another useless Senate inquiry is going to fix the fact that our grid is incredibly fragile. We are quite literally one flip switch away from total societal collapse. Speaking of surviving societal collapse, you need to be prepared when the supermarket shelves go empty, which is why you need emergency rations from My Patriot Supply.
I could actually do with some emergency rations. Actually, doesn't sound like a bad idea just to have in the back closet.
No,
God,
Adam.
another COVID situation.
Get them now. You seen the price of cans of beans lately? Fuck.
Don't get me started on Cosy Lives. Don't worry, though, because the Victorian election is coming up, and the Liberal Party still can't seem to, like, sort
Unfuck
themselves
itself.
out as a credible opposition. But at last,
We've got Twin Rotors in the chat saying, needs to be more whiny, but a good attempt at Ben. Thank you. Thank you, Twin Rotors. I'm naturally sick, which lends to the nasal quality of my impressions. So, but thank you. Speaking of whiny, Moira Deeming.
Moira Deeming. So, if you haven't been following the Moira Deeming, I'm going to call it a saga. at this
It's an
point.
odyssey.
It's a saga. It's an odyssey. There's 4
It
parts.
is an odyssey.
Yep.
In Italian, there's a phrase, a storia Orlando, which is the story of Orlando. It's like a big saga odyssey. It's like it's like a Pinocchio figure, or like the Odyssey. It was like this, soldier, blah blah blah. The Moira Deeming story is a story Orlando. Like that, it really
keeps
is.
going.
Just keeps going. It just keeps giving and giving and giving. When you think she's got nothing else to give, she's got lawsuits. She wins lawsuits. She loses lawsuits. She's going into bankruptcy. It's got everything. It's got drama. It's got political. It's got intrigue. The only thing it needs is a couple of incest scenes, and it could be another season of Game of Thrones.
It basically is. Now, the question is, do it for the purposes of this episode. Do we go all the way back to the rally with the Nazis?
Yeah.
Do we go back that far? Is that wise? There was a rally she had about... She's a famously sort of like anti-trans kind of version of feminism, I guess. Is probably where
trans
that is.
exclusionary radical feminism or TERFs.
So she had a rally about that, and a bunch of Nazis rocked up. Unrelated, they just happened to rock up
Unrelated,
and
they
be
just
there.
happen to be there.
Yep. They also saw what they were rallying about and thought, yes. And that
So-
should tell you something. But Leo,
That's
we're not
separate.
relitigating the
Totally
rally.
separate, okay? Totally separate. As we know from the successful lawsuit against John Pizzuto, to
Yes.
associate those two things is, slander. So
She
just
is
keep that in
not
mind.
a Nazi.
She is not a Nazi sympathizer. The Nazis just happen to love her vibe.
The Nazis happen to sympathize with
her.
So,
her.
yeah,
Not her the other way around. But
the
John-
Nazis were sympathizing with her. Yes.
Yeah, John Pizzuto, who was the Liberal leader at the time in Victoria, basically, effectively said some stuff about her, and I think she was kicked out of the party for it, and she came back in. But basically, there was a defamation case that Pizzuto, had to defend against. She sued him.
And was successful, I believe.
And was successful.
Yeah.
She successfully won.
He borrowed money from
defamed her.
the
Liberal
kitty
Party.
to actually
to-
defend himself, which is currently sitting in a trust somewhere.
Yes. So basically,
Like
the Liberal
1.8
Party was
$1.8
like
million of like Liberal Party
Yeah.
money that's now sitting in a trust somewhere that has
Millions.
Moira Deeming's name on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, they didn't want to, because he's in like a not a safe seat. He's in a sort of, what do they call it?
Marginal. He's
Marginal
doing.
seat. Thank you.
Why? He makes such good decisions. And that's
They
a
were
lot.
like, well, we can't have him kicked out of Parliament for bankruptcy, so we've got to give him this loan to pay for the legal fee so he can hold his seat.
Yeah.
So that all happened. There was a bunch of other stuff, and there was like, is she going to like come back in and stand for become a member of the Liberal Party, because she was put back on the backbench. So she came back into the Liberal Party and was
And
going to
everyone was
contest.
Thrilled to see her.
Thrilled
I
about
bet. It's just thrilled
about
to
it.
see
Everyone loves
one
her.
of your colleagues who sued one of your other colleagues returning to work.
Yeah.
I bet everyone was really excited to chat
Just
to
her
in
and
the break room.
Pizzuto in the lunchroom, just like
Don't fucking talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me,
Yeah.
Moira. I can't afford to
Yeah.
get sued.
Yeah, what do you talk about at the water cooler?
Meanwhile, her legal costs.
Twin Rotors is pointing out she was also backed by a rich benefactor
Correct.
as well.
This is where I'm going to. Is that so to pay for her legal costs? What was the guy's name? It is gone down the bottom. Mr. Grugin. Paid, basically fronted up the legal costs.
Just battling the billionaires. That's all you need to do nowadays. You just got to find a billionaire to back your thing.
Was he a billionaire or a millionaire? I don't know.
Well,
he's wealthy.
He's got money to spare.
Yeah. So basically, the $1.5 million in legal costs that she racked up, that was initially paid for by Grugin, Grugin wants that money back. It was a loan. So
now it's a loan.
Pseudo got given a loan to pay for Deeming's loan. And again, that, as George said, that money is currently sitting in a trust.
Yeah.
So basically, it's not clear why that. I mean, there's currently some argy-bargy around releasing that money, and it hasn't actually changed hands yet. That's fairly complicated and is an ongoing matter. But the headline here, the reason why this is all relevant, is because she just, I don't know, came into the headlines again because she then tried to lodge a complaint against another former Liberal leader, Victorian Liberal leader, Matthew Guy, at a function, and sort of alleged that Matthew Guy had assaulted her at this community event.
That he'd essentially, sort of grabbed her and roughhoused her.
Put her in a headlock, I believe, was the
headlock.
The phrasing used, and then following from that, because the footage came out, and some people said that's not a headlock, and then it became about, I didn't quite know what a headlock actually was. I thought that's what a headlock was.
I feel like
I
a headlock
don't
is
want to
pretty
litigate whether she
self-explanatory.
was assaulted or not.
So the quote I saw,
the police said there's not enough evidence. That's not
right. So the quote I saw was that in a 12-page statement to the state executive earlier this week, Ms. Deeming continued to allege that she was grabbed, held, and pulled with force by Mr. Guy, which she said caused pain and distress. But we can see a photo of them together at this event, and it looks like they're together for a selfie, and the cops have looked at the CCTV and said, nothing like that happened.
Yeah, and then there was just it almost like something out of Veep. It became about like what defines a headlock, and
headlock is crazy. That's crazy.
It's very, very strange.
So basically, the Liberal Party were like, "You need to apologise," and she has refused to do that. So then they had a vote the other night, and they're like, we're not going to back you. You're not going to be a member of the Liberal Party for the next election in November."
I mean, she's about 3 months away from suing Jess Wilson at this point, so I think it's probably safest to just get her out of there.
So there was a whole thing about her even being able to be pre-selected for that seat anyway. There was a whole nother saga around that. So it's look, I mean, part of me feels for her a little bit. It's like,
really?
I don't know. She's like a youngish woman trying to sort of make her way within a very blokey political establishment.
Oh yeah,
but it's like wherever she goes.
Jess Wilson or Maura Deeming?
Maura Deeming.
Oh no, I don't get that at all.
Like I don't know, but like I'm just saying, like a part of me, like she's trying to fight the system, but like,
are you worried she's going to sue us?
Yes, yes, but also like she just wherever she goes, there is just drama. I don't know why.
Well, to Twin Rotors' point
drama.
in the chat, you know where she could go? Into the open arms of Pauline Hanson's One Nation with Pauline Hanson.
She might. Yep. This is the thing: is that One Nation are polling very high in Victoria, but they haven't actually got much of the like election infrastructure ready to go for the election yet. We're only a couple of months away.
Yeah.
So while One Nation are like, I can't remember where they are exactly on my ticket. Like Labor at the moment are so unpopular. It's like Jacinda Allen is as popular as Peter Dutton was prior to the last. Like they're going to get
Jacinda Allen being the Labor current premier of
correct
of Victoria. Yep.
So there are Labor people now saying, do they need to do a spill to like kick her out and throw someone else in to try and save the election?
No, it's
fine. I mean, it is our national pastime.
Anyway, the November Victorian election is going to be like very spicy.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. And whether or not I just had a thought with being like, but is she too crazy for One Nation? Like Pauline's always ready to accept people.
No
Ironically, One Nation has open borders as a party.
Very good.
They'll accept anyone in. Bring us your
Very
tired,
good.
your poor, your huddled masses.
We're joking about that.
That's very good.
I actually think that's probably the most likely course of action for her is to get across to One Nation. If
Well,
it's with
if
their
they'll have
gender, like
Yeah, well, we have
policies.
in the chat. Extreme Kabuto has said that Pauline has even apparently told her to fuck off. Basically, I mean, citation needed, but that's
Yeah.
very funny if that happened.
And we're just getting another message in from Ben Shapiro. The Victorian Liberal Party is completely cannibalizing itself. The factional warfare over Moira Deeming's pre-selection is a total political bloodbath. The infighting is completely out of control, and frankly, things are getting incredibly ugly. It's an absolute mess. You know what else is an absolute mess? Your grooming routine, which is why you need to clean up your own personal disaster zone with the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped.
Manscaped. I was like, oh, this is that male grooming brand. I can't remember what they're called. Where's he going with this?
I did question whether to go with Meridian or Manscaped, but Manscaped does more
is the-
podcast
Now,
ads.
George, you're busting these out really quickly and on context. Is Claude writing these for you?
Claude is writing the last couple, yeah.
Well, that might, that
I did the first
that might
ones,
not
to be
fly.
fair. The Telstra one and the Moira Deeming one was in fact Gemini, so I can't
I was
take
thinking-
credit for that one.
That might not fly under Albo's bold new future for AI in Australia. Right on time, fellas.
Right on time, Albo.
Yep, great. You couldn't have been more on the money. Like, you've clearly got your fingers on the pulse by announcing that we're going to have an office to think about what kind of laws we should probably enact about AI
in
like what
2
are
At
we,
some
years.
point.
4
In 2 years.
years into ChatGPT being unleashed on the world.
Yeah.
Like, well done, Albo. I mean, you weren't in government then, but or were they? No, wait, no, they weren't then. But like, geez, wow, well done.
So the quote is from Extreme Kabuto from Pauline
about,
Hanson's One Nation's Pauline
more
Hanson.
redeeming, yep.
Quote, I want a person with integrity and honesty, and I don't see that, and that's why I would not offer a position with One Nation, Hanson told 3AW. What a absolutely cursed blunt rotation that would be.
Oh man,
Pauline Hanson,
don't
Moira
know.
Deeming, and 3AW. That is absolutely cursed.
If they, I don't know. I'm just saying it's a few months to November, and if she is likely to poll well, then One Nation will do whatever they can.
I
to
don't
win
think so,
seats.
man. Like, I think everyone's just had enough of deeming. She's been deemed to be wanting.
It's literally been an 8-year saga. It's just anyway.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So, our Lord and Master Anthony Albanese,
Communist leader, Chairman Albo,
announced at the University of Sydney.
the Communist University of Sydney.
Sydney this week, just to announce the establishment of an Office of AI.
Is that going to be based out of the Socialist Republic of Sydney, or is that going to
Probably.
be based out of Canada?
With it sort of sitting within like the office of the Prime Minister and stuff like that, where
Yeah, it's
they
going to
would
be a division of his own.
They're going to be coming up with, coming up with the legislation of how we are going to be either regulating AI, ensuring our sovereignty when it comes to AI, and but he did make a big push in his speech to be highlighting that the government will be modernizing their copyright laws.
Which is interesting.
Being like, he said, quote, let me make this crystal clear. Not everything produced in Australia is up for grabs. Australian writers, musicians, artists, and journalists must retain ownership and control of their work. Our laws will spell that out plain as day. It's
In
like,
1 to 2 years.
will spell that out plain as day. Because if your question is, what laws are these? They don't know yet. But
the thing is, that's all. Like, as
It's
I
already
understand
happened.
it, that's already copyright law. Is that you're not allowed to take other people's stuff without permission and not pay for it.
And
that's
already,
currently the law.
Yes.
It's
and
just
they
that these
did it
AI
anyway.
companies did it anyway. Right,
and
exactly.
They're not being punished for it.
Right. So clearly the laws as
Yeah.
written are probably sufficient to pursue remedies with these companies if the government
Would
decided to actually, enforce it. But it does seem like the
I
horse is
think-
very much bolted in this regard. It's
Yes,
kind of like,
like they
the
are.
models are trained at this point, so I don't know what you're
I
going to do.
don't necessarily know if they are sufficient because I mean, I'm going back to like understanding copyright law from university like 10, 15 years ago, but you've got to be able. There's this thing about a substantial part.
Yeah, substantial part of the work. Yeah.
And
but
the problem
all
is
of the
with
work was
AI.
ingested.
But
That's
but this is the
right?
thing. But it's the reproduction of a substantial part of the original material. That is one of the thresholds. The problem is with AI, is that it washes everything. It's like a money launderer. It
Because
washes
it's
everything.
opaque, you don't know
Yeah.
what goes in. Versus
Right,
What goes
yeah.
How
out.
can you
just-
prove that this sentence
Just-
here
yeah,
is
just
a
'cause-
material is a substantive part?
Yeah, just because all
of-
these words were in War and Peace, but they're in a different order, doesn't make it War and Peace.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but surely the act of ingesting all of this material without any compensation is
No,
like
apparently not.
I can't just scrape the web or out of everyone else. Like me, George, can't go and train my own personal Speedy Pete's backyard large language model with
Jim's
copyrighted
LLMs.
books. Jim's mowing, Jim's car wash, Jim's LLM.
They've obviously the data that they've been given is either free.
It was not
public,
legally
it's
obtained.
either publicly
no, it wasn't.
domain
It's
or
not
or
public
they're paid
domain
for it.
because they're published books
But how
and things
how have
like
they
that.
gotten it? What have they done?
They
They've
fucking scraped it off
scanned
the
They
internet.
scraped
Yes.
the internet. Yeah. It's
Google
crazy.
it. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big controversy.
But the things that they're scraping.
Well, you
would
think you
have to
bought
be
you bought
things-
one Britney Spears CD and then therefore you're entitled to the entire Britney Spears catalog? I don't think that's how it works, mate.
No, well, this is the other thing. It's not just books. It's music
Everything.
as well.
Music, video, all that sort of stuff.
But my point being is that the
Scraping
laws aren't-
Reddit
the
content,
laws-
scraping anything and everything that they can get their hands on.
I
to
don't
get
know whether that is
training
actually a breach
material.
of copyright law because you're not. It's the reproduction of it, which is the thing that triggers a breach of copyright law. So scraping it isn't necessarily.
Yeah,
So the
and I think
laws,
that-
in my view, at least, are
yeah,
insufficient.
I think the big argument. Yeah, I think I see your point, Adam. That like the laws don't cover the because you're not in breach of like. I know AIs and the LLMs and a person's behavior are not comparable, as we've talked at length. But sort of if I read I'll use War and Peace again. I read War and Peace. And I'm like, that inspires me to write my own novel, and I write my own novel, and it's not War and Peace, but I read it and learnt techniques and stuff like that about writing to do it. I haven't breached its copyright, but if I write a book that is very similar to War and Peace, and even sections of it you can see them next to each other, I've breached the copyright law. So
what
in these
it
cases,
is it's almost like piracy. It's actually more. It's not so much copyright.
it is more. Yeah, it's more like piracy. Yeah.
It's more like piracy, where you are buying or using or ingesting unlicensed, or what is meant to be licensed or owned material, and you're consuming that without paying for it. So that's more of a licensing issue to my knowledge.
Friend of the show, my brother Jack Heath, he knows that his work was ingested for one of the AI companies' LLM's training. Like he knows it. That it.
How
all got
I'd like to
pulled
know
in.
how though. When we say they're taking the data and they're scraping it from the internet, like if I look up a book, unless it's like an old
People pirate
old
books,
classic.
Adam.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
people
don't- I
pirate
don't-
books, so those are out there. But also, like
it-
Google Books or whatever, you can kind of read like substantial bits of books for free or whatever before
Yeah.
the whole thing. So, and how these cases will then go down is whether or not you could prove that the outputs from these AIs, you're like,
Correct.
oh, well that's a paragraph from my book. It didn't create original sentences. That is a section from Game of Thrones
Correct.
or whatever,
That's
right?
not really how large language models work. They don't reproduce stuff in that
Correct.
way, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess,
Anyway.
but they might have gotten better to not be doing that. But I think when they were kicking off these cases, like we're talking years ago, like in the earlier forms, people could see the similarities.
You could
in
see
them
artifacts potentially.
yeah.
Well,
of
it's like
Sorry.
cheating at
reproduced
uni. It's like
phases
I'm
and-
just taking a copy off Wikipedia, and it's like you can match
Yeah,
it
yeah.
one to one. It's not
So yeah. So anyway, Albo has talked a big game around that sort of side of things in this. But the other
Which
thing
I
he
think
talked
is good,
about,
to be clear. I
Oh.
do think
great for messaging. I just want to see them actually do it.
Do
Like, you know,
something.
In 1 to
so
2
many
years.
times. Yeah. Again, like as Adam pointed out, in 1 to 2 years, like so much that's been disappointing about this government is they might often say or do, like say the right thing, but it's seeing the action resulting from it being
What do we
as
want?
good as what they've said.
Certainty in an uncertain time. When do we want it? Over the forward estimates.
Yeah. But another part of the announcements he made, which I found interesting, was talking about regulating data centers. So, given the big data centers have been popping up everywhere. People have been trying to, like, you know, what do you call them? Like developers and all that sort of stuff are trying to build data centers in places, like, and there's been lots of pushback for a litany of reasons of what they can do to the communities and all those sorts of things, as well as the energy usage and the resource usage and all this sort of stuff. So one of the things Albo mentioned was saying, like, that we were going to, like, legally force them to minimize their water usage. I'm like, okay, but how little water does that then result in? Like, you can force them to minimize it, but if the minimum amount of water they need is still bad, then it's still bad.
Yeah,
like, that's
I don't
that. You
think
can't
there's-
just say, we're going to make them minimize how much water they use, but also, how do you cool the data centers then? The way to minimize data center water usage is to not
Is
build
to not
them.
have data centers, yeah, because
Like,
because AI data centers are very different to other kinds of data centers because they are
Yes.
primarily reliant on
the level of compute that they
GPUs,
need, yeah.
graphics processing units, which run particularly hot. They need a lot more resources than just your average data center, which is like an Amazon Web Services,
Holding
serving
all your
websites, holding
Facebook
data
pictures
or-
does
yeah.
not take as much power
No.
and grunt as
They run hot.
running LLMs.
They
Yeah.
run hot, and yeah, in a country where we don't have a lot of water already, as evidenced by our, the infamous drought that
Many
we had
droughts.
growing up, and the creation of our desalination plant and things like that. It's not currently a problem, but it very well could be a problem if we return to that kind of drought cycle. I do think the provisions that he was talking about around ensuring that AI data centers are not going to take up space that would otherwise be utilized for housing was good. They need to provide more energy into the grid than they take up. I think that's fairly reminiscent of some of the proposals you're seeing in the United States around data centers and things like that. All of this sounds like vaguely good, but yeah, to your point, Tom, I don't know how you get them to minimize water usage. When
You could do
it
things
takes
like
as much.
closed loop systems, but even with that, there's still a certain amount of evaporation.
Yeah.
and loss that takes place. You could probably never get it to.
It's never going to be
zero water
100%.
loss.
It's
Yeah,
why,
exactly.
the thing I want to be hearing about is, okay, so where's the development and where's the science community going at, like, other ways of cooling computers?
Right.
Like,
Quantum.
clearly a more sustainable way
Quantum.
needs
Did
to
you
be
say?
found.
Did you say fucking quantum with no context?
Quantum computers?
Fucking quantum, mate.
The
I think-
ASD
As
has
though
put out-
quantum wouldn't take a gargantuan amount of energy. in order
I
to
think they may not. They
fucking
probably run as
quantum, get
hot,
it in you, mate.
if not more hot.
Let me just Google it. Keep talking.
I think quantum
Yeah, Adam-
computers
Adam-
need to be kept
wow.
in super cooled environments
Yeah.
from recollection.
I was gonna say.
Does quantum computing require a lot of energy?
Yeah, we're just
Yes.
going to see
A
Adam on
moderate
the-
amount of power to operate, drawing 7 to 25 kilowatts. Yeah, that's.
We are just going to see Adam just on the video, just like, like in movies where suddenly just all the information's going into his brain. Like,
he just
let me
like
just
does the
let me just run
Matrix,
a
like,
crash.
I know
Let me just
kung
run
fu.
a crash course on how quantum computers work. I've
But
seen
the
through
amount
time.
of output you get from one quantum computer is like more than all the data centers in the world currently combined.
mean-
kind of thing. Like you know what I mean? Like the scale of it is the output. is
Yes.
I
insane.
think none of the three of us know what the fuck we're talking about here, and so we desperately need to move on.
Yeah, I only
Move on
know
to the
a
end of the
little
show.
bit about quantum computing. Not enough to speculate.
I know that the
It's
ASD is worried about it because they're updating all their guidelines to include it. But anyway,
Yeah.
In any case, it sounds like these new guidelines and this new department set up within the department of the Prime Minister is going to be useful. But as you say, Tom, it should have happened probably 3 years
A
ago.
while ago.
And yeah, it is. Whilst it is reassuring to know that government moving at the speed of government is going to take a look at this, we probably need government moving at the speed of something faster than government in order to
in 1 to
get
2 years.
policy in
Yeah.
place. It is good that they've got guidance now on AI in procurement and things like that. I think there is stuff that is happening on the government side to sort of that acknowledges that AI is a useful technology. It's here to stay. How can we harness it for people's benefit and not to their detriment? But I think they really need to start
Yeah.
moving. Maybe they
I
need
wanna
to
see
start
them actually
using some
do
of that AI
Yeah.
to actually start drafting some of these policies and get them out there a little bit quicker, because this is not going to be the silver bullet that like wins over the hearts of the One Nation voters that are concerned about politicians
Or-
eating babies, right? Like this is not speaking to that voter. We need some policies for the normies that are, going to bring them back into the fold.
Or I think it's not really appealing to the extreme left, who are very against like the people campaigning against data centers popping up, and like they're not undoing the brand damage that kind of AI has done to itself.
They're walking a middle path, certainly.
Yeah.
Like, and I think there is room for companies and investments, and as we talked about before with Fable, but just being like switched off and then switched back on, like the Strait of Hormuz just switched back off and on. Like clearly there is.
Have you tried turning it off?
Have you
and on
tried
again?
turning it off and on again? Did you stick a
Sorry.
paperclip back into the
I
back
don't
of the
know why,
Strait
I've
of
only just
Hormuz
thought
and that might restart it?
Well, I've only just thought of that joke. That's amazing.
I don't know.
It works.
But the thing is, it's like there is a demonstrated need for us to have some of our own kind of large language model industry here, whether that is just in the form of onshore data centers or in local tech companies building their own models and providing alternatives to Anthropic and Google and these American-based companies, where if they decide to just switch off the infrastructure of the world, right, they're just not able to do so because there are alternatives. I think there is some value in that, considering how many organizations are now relying on these technologies. But I don't know that this gets us there that much faster. And I'd love to see some detail.
Yep. Yeah, that's
In
why
1
they
to
should
2
have.
years.
They should have started this 1 to 2 years ago, so
Yeah.
that the 1 to 2 years would be now.
They'll roll it out as an election policy. Don't worry.
Why do I always have whenever the Albanese government announces something, and I'm like, okay, it sounds like it might be okay. I'd love some detail. The constant log line of any time I hear any policy from the Labor government is like, sounds like it might be something. I guess we'll find out in a couple of years. Who knows?
Yeah, there are other things we can talk about regarding their housing policies and stuff that they've announced recently and other bits and pieces. But it's
All right. Well, we'll discuss it in 12 to 18 months when we get the
12
detail.
to 18 months. Yeah.
Cool. On that note, we have been, we are, and we always will be Unnatural Selection. Make sure you follow us at our salubrious home on the web, unnaturalshow.com. Make sure you follow us on all the bullshit social medias that are ruining the world, that have, do, or ever will exist, at our handle at Unnatural Show. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Motherflippin' TikTok. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at George Tsipos.
You can follow me on Threads at tom.heath.
And you can follow me down to the Victorian Liberal Party, where I'll be. I don't know. I guess there's a spot up for grabs in November. So
See if you can get some of that trust money.
trust money. Which
And we've got a final message from Ben Shapiro. The government's brilliant solution is to set up some useless bureaucratic office of AI that will do absolutely nothing to stop it. The machines are coming for human thought, and they are replacing real or original ingenuity with cheap artificial sludge. Speaking of cheap artificial sludge, that's exactly what you're eating for breakfast every single morning. You need to upgrade your mornings with Magic Spoon.
I think this could be this. This has been a wonderful addition for this episode, but it should never happen again.
Rude. Those last three ones were AI, but I wrote the rest of them.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time on those.
Whose work did they steal as part of it?
I did so much Googling. I didn't know what Birch Gold Group was before this.
Is it a good investment?
No, it's gold. Thanks for listening, guys. Love your faces. We'll see you next week. I tried so hard.